All right, greetings everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It is I, Vorm, here to play Vagrus, the Riven Realms. It's been a couple weeks, so we're going to jump back into our current game. I had a look at the video for the last episode, just to remind myself where we were at. Let's hit continue here. Jump on into the game proper. So, we had a very expensive trip south. Very expensive. So, we are here in Torzag Shelter. We have come from Kernak Way Station in the south. We went down there for the sole purpose of completing a mission chain for one of our companions. And, that had some consequences. So, if we look at companions. Finderarth. So we had picked up Finderarth as a mission person for a while. Went to different places, did some things. Finally delivered her to Kernak as what was going to be the final part of that mission chain. And things went horribly wrong. We had some big fights. And she has decided to join us. She's decided she can't complete the mission she was originally sent on. And she's now joined us as a permanent companion. We do have storyline stuff to do for her still, like we do with all the companions, but she's now firmly with us permanently, which is great. She's a really nice magic user, so I think we'll get a lot of value out of Finderarth. But the fights, getting down there and then getting back again, that was rough. So we had to sell off an awful lot of our troop in order to slim down our caravan expenses, and we almost starved to death because there was no food down there in Kernak. No food, no supplies to purchase. So it was very close. It was rough. So we had to sell off a bunch of our comitatus folks and animals. So now that we're back in Torzags, we've got to basically recover all that stuff. So we've got 189 of the Bros, and yeah, I think we had 200 something when we left. We've already lost a fair bit. Now we're going to lose a bunch more as I realize the cost of replenishing everything we had to sell off. Yeah, so that's where we're at, and the plan from here, once I go through and we do all that, and we get everything caught up here in the shelter, we're going to make a trip to Lumen. We've got a quest to deliver a dragon bone and some tin. I need to buy some tin here in Torzags. We're going to take that along with some of the faction missions off to Lumen, and get those all delivered, get the quest advanced. Then my plan is probably to pop up here to Arcane. And from Arcane, we're going to work our way over to this area. So we'll follow the main road. We're going to go to the Mines of Plenty right here. So we'll come over to the crossroads and around. We haven't been this direction yet. But I want to visit the Mines of Plenty and possibly go up to Salem. So that's probably as far as I can plot out right now what we're going to do. So here we are. Okay. So I took a look at the status before going live here, and we've got a lot of supply runs, the level 0 or level 1 missions for the various faction houses, each of which takes up 2 cargo slots. I'm thinking I might buy 2 beasts of burden, a few horses, get my my fighters and my scouts back up to the numbers that we need. And see just how many of these we can deliver. I don't think I'm going to try to deliver any materials, meaning buying stuff here in Torzags. Pottery would probably be the one thing usually that's in pretty good supply here. Yeah, pottery would probably be the number one thing to take out of here. So we'll kind of see. I want to do the missions for the factions primarily, and we might not have the slots. So every 20 cargo space that we have based on the makeup of our group with the number of beasts of burden and horses and so on. They have different carrying capacities. For every 20 that we've got, and right now we've got 190, so if we can get 10 more, that gets us an extra slot. And then every 20 beyond that, of course. But we got so many. Like every single one of the factions has got a supply run going to Lumen, apparently, taking up 2 cargo spaces. And they all pay approximately the same thing. So they're pretty close to each other. We're close to 1 or 2 of them to getting some faction bonuses, getting the levels that we need. So currently, as soon as we got here, we immediately bought food, and we're going to end up buying more, I'm sure. I don't remember how much food is available over there in Lumen, and my plan is to take the road route. I'm going to take the fast travel road route there instead of going off-road and scavenging. I want a fast route up there, get the stuff delivered and done, and then we'll off-road over to Arcane and gather supplies as we go. So, Lumen, yeah, we'll see what we want to get there. All right, so things to do. Let's get our Comitatus replenished first. So let's go here. Beasts. I know for certain I'm going to buy. Oh my God, they're so expensive. Oh, wow. Well, we got to get one for sure. That gets us, I think, back to where I was before. Then we'll get a couple more horses. Crew, I want all the scouts. That gets us back to 25. We currently got a strain on the guarding process. We don't have enough fighters to guard the camp properly. We're definitely gonna need workers. I'm gonna stay out of the slave trade for now, so we'll just hire the workers. That gets us enough workers to take care of the jobs of caring for the beasts and so on. Gets rid of one of these flags. And then fighters. There's 8 available. Let's get 5 to start with. Alright, that gets rid of all of the negative conditions for the number of people that we have. But we're also down to 6 days travel with 1,000 supplies, 4 stacks of supplies. I think that's enough to get me there, but if I don't have... the other problem is I don't know how much food is going to be available there, and I know it's going to cost at least double what we have to pay here. So this is one of those situations where I have to calculate, is it better to carry extra with me that I purchased cheaper, but it takes up slots that could be used for cargo from paying customers like the factions. We've got pretty good foraging skills and hunting skills. Yeah, I might change my mind about staying on the road. We'll see. All right, so we've got those replenished. The only thing I'm still debating is whether or not I want to dump another 25 bucks into another beast of burden. I don't know that I'll be able to use it appropriately after the fact. So cargo, we're now up to that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 slots. If I leave it alone, we could take 4 missions from the factions, each taking up 2 slots. That would leave nothing left over empty for me to salvage to add to our food. I'd have to burn off some of the food supply and then start scavenging, and foraging for food. So they provide 65 cargo capacity. That's 3 more slots. 65... That'd be 185. I'd need 5 more in order to get enough for 2 more faction houses. Man, that's really cutting into our cash supply. Plus, it's possible I'll need to get more workers, which would mean I might need more guards, which would mean I need more food, which means blah, blah, blah. It kind of cascades. We've got 21. We've got 23 workforce with 21 necessary to manage everything there. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Are there more workers? Crap. Well, maybe we are going to get back into this. In a tiny way. Ooh, just barely. All right, let's give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. We still have enough guards. Okay, so that gets us more slots. 371. 9 more would get us another slot. I'd need 1 horse. Really? That got us to 380? I thought I needed 9 more. Something changed. Oh, we got bonuses and benefits from some of our gear that's not being calculated in. All right, that'll work. Cool. Nice even 380. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could take 6 of the faction missions and still have an empty slot. So we're down to 5 days supplies traveling. So I either fill one more with food or... Nah, there's not really an or here. Filling it with food. Get us back to 7. All right. Let's do a few things while we're here as well. So we've got rumors. Let's go ahead and buy the rumors. Okay. So nobles want to be doing some luxury construction, and they want us to bring marble from Arcane, which is a pretty standard trade route. Druzian quarry on the northwestern edge of Surgarad's blade produces copious amounts of obsidian that can be hauled east and north for a reliable profit. Okay. Druzian quarry right there. Not too far off of our travel route. We got to go there first. Then we can do Arcane. Then we can get back to the shelter, do a final, grab marble, bring it back and sell it, and then do a final gearing up, and then head off to where my next plan is. We may or may not be able to take advantage of Druzian before I do that. All right, we got rumors. Let's exchange news, and those are done. I'm not planning on going and exploring the city right now. Cargo. Ooh, I need to go get some more medical supplies. I guess I am going to go into the city a little bit. We're done here. Let's go ahead and pick up the missions that we want to run. So, who are we close to? 43, 81 for loaders, and 154 for Oakwo. We need 66 more. So loaders and Oakwo would be good. Supply run for House Oakwo going to Lumen, so we'll definitely take that. There's loaders going to Arcane. Oh, loaders doesn't have a Lumen. No Lumen. We're going right by the quarry. Quarry's right there. If you do take the road route, we'll be passing right next to it. So maybe, not sure I want to do the runs for these lower ones, the church ones. All three of them have them available. Only one? Deliver 50 mushrooms. And also only one. Alright. I think I'm going to regret taking all of them. So we got our people done. We got the news done. Passengers to Lumen. Group of construction workers. Sure. Got some passengers going to Lumen with us. We've got our faction missions all loaded up. Not going to buy anything separately. So I need to go to, I forget where it was. Civic District? Infirmary. Purchase a lot of medical supplies. A 1, 3, and 10. Alright. Let's get one more batch of 10. Alright, back up to 28. Oh! We took such a massive hit. Alright, but we've expanded beyond what we had before, and hopefully it pays off. I'm feeling like, oh man, that's not good. Crap. To hire a couple extra guards because of the construction group that we also took on. More guards to defend. All right, I think that is everything. We've only got 1 out of 8 movement points, and our stats aren't the best, so we're gonna have to rest. So 1 vigor, morale, vigor, nutrition, 2 morale, 2 nutrition, but no vigor. Yeah, that'll be fine. Alright, now we're ready to go. Alright, I think we got everything taken care of, I hope. Deputies. We can't add Finderarth as our Spellweaver deputy yet. Oh yeah, I think there was one more thing. Equipment. I believe we have a slot available for, what, navigation and miscellaneous. Let's get these perimeter alarms. They will go into the miscellaneous slot and give us plus 10 defense. Or plus 20 vigilance while camping. Oops, wrong slot. Okay. Here we go. So we got to get around the bend here at minimum before I make the decision whether we're going to go off-road or stay. Well, I need to stay, if not on the road, we're going to parallel it because I need to go to Vagrus Tower. We could actually go this route around, which takes us off-road, but we need to burn some of our supplies before I can do anything anyway. So 8 to there. We've got 9, leaves 1. I'm not going to go scavenging anyway. We could use the resourcefulness early to get more regular movement points. Yeah, let's do it early. So that gets us to 12, 12 to there. Sounds good. Okay, definitely post the extra guards if we got them. Everything's looking pretty good. We're not going to do anything for foraging. Oh, I got to remember to talk to my guys. So Garrick and Finderarth are recovering. Next up, 9 to there. If I try to push it. $9,899. We're in really good shape. I don't. Holy crap. Wow. Where did my... Oh, that's right. We're on extra rations. We're burning food like crazy. That's not good. That's not good. Very not good. 50%. Oh boy. This is actually a big problem. Can't get into the quarry. They're going to have very little to no food. We're going to be 0 food by the time we get there. I've already misjudged this. Crap. Whew. Uh-oh. Oh, finally, the road tax thing. Wondering when we would see one of these. Inspections and security checks by Imperial authorities are common on important roads, and sooner or later, you can't avoid them unless you avoid the roads themselves. According to these tax collectors and their lackeys, such tariffs grind the wheels of the Empire, but you're sure they mostly end up in sleazy palms. At any rate, going up against these bailiff armies would be suicide, so you probably have to pay up. No problem. That's the middle currency. That's a fair amount, but 2 random goods. Nope. Your story is in alignment? Hmm. Oof. Alright. Well, they do have some supplies. They're just stupid expensive. Ouch. Alright. You supply run for House Darius to the quarry. That turned in. And we're not going to any of those places, so we're not going to refill. And market. I don't think this place produces anything worth grabbing and trying to haul out of here. Very small quantities of everything, so yeah, we're not going to try to buy anything. Get out of here. So, Lumen is there, not too far around the bend. Might be able to get there in a single forced march. Next round. We got 4 days of food. Or, because if I go off-road, we're not going to get much scavenging or foraging done. Just barely off-road. That's all 5 of my points. I won't have any points left over anyway. Push it. Oops. All right. Delivered the passengers. Oh. Screwed up. Screwed up. Number one thing I was supposed to do, I didn't do. Damn it. I was supposed to buy 4 tin and bring the tin for the quest, which was the entire reason I was coming this direction. Oh well, I guess I'll have to satisfy myself that we got a lot of missions to complete. Otherwise, I screwed that up. Alright, factions. And emptied out our inventory nicely. Got us back to 166. I got nothing else to sell, so we didn't really gain much other than some faction points. We are now at 53 on Venari, 37 to go before we hit level 1. $79 on loaders, 11 away. 157 on Oakwoe. 63 before we get to level 2. Oops, keep hitting that wrong button. Minus 113 on unknown. All right. So available missions. Heading back out of here. Procure, conquer, defend, procure. Youch. A restock. I can't take it anyway. Oh, no missions out of here. I guess we're... We got a single one back to Torzags. We're going to Arcane first. Do I tie up 2 slots for a run that's going to be a while? And do I stay with 3 Beasts of Burden? No, sell it back down. Need 18 to be fully defended. I've got 22. If we don't have any adjustments, I could get rid of a couple. All right, I think that's where I'm going to sit for that. Let's go ahead and get some rumors. Mysterious Traveler tells you about a weird sculptor who lives in Arcane, has a small hidden shop. Thought we already had that guy known. Exchange news. Check for passengers. Nope. Well, yes, but... No, I'm not going to take these guys on. There's not enough money to put it on a list where I could possibly fail it. Because I have to do other things, so we'll hold off on that. We're done here. So, Ceruleus Crystal... Perilous Crystal. We are in Lumen. We're heading to Arcane. So we would be buying at 22 per stack and selling at 30 per stack. So that's pretty much our opportunity getting out of here. Don't think they sell anything else that's or have anything else that's going to be worth it. 3 per for supplies. Robbery. And what we have is only 3 days worth. Alright. Extortionate, but pay it. 4 days. It's not going to be enough for me to have opportunities to forage. I think I'm going to go with one more... God, I really don't want to do this at triple price. Let's risk it. Let's take the risk. Let's hope 4 days is enough buffer that we can get at least 1 or 2 successes on our foraging. And let's go ahead and grab a stack of crystal. I got 115 more. 30 per stack. I don't know how quickly we're going to saturate the market. Eggs is also selling at 30, so about the same price. So if we start to saturate the market in Arcane, we'll carry the rest of it back to Torzag. So let's go ahead and do at least one more. All right, I'm gonna call that good. We need to rest. We got no outgoing missions that we have to worry about timing on. All right, nutrition is really what I need. We're okay on these. I think I'll just go with the 1, 1, and 1 though. And we'll feed the guys up when we get surplus. We'll have plenty of cargo space for supplies if we get lucky. All right, we are all set. Off-roading we will go. That's a good number. Leaves me the 2 I need. Not a terrible number. Oh, that's right. I don't have any slaves anymore. 50%, 50-50 with a 5% crit fail. And we'll let them both do their thing. So it requires 2 movement points. We have 2 movement points left, so we don't have to dip into our vigor or anything. So we're doing max guard duty. I need to remember to talk to these guys. So let's get over to Finderarth. Chat. Plans. Her diplomatic mission. Our other companions. A lot of things. Oh boy. Nope, not reading through all this. You guys can speed read and or pause. So we got to identify the symbol with the enemies we've been dealing with for her. Use. One of the blue dragon magi. Alright, that's enough. Apparently he's got a list. Ah. It's a lizard tattoo. Merc gang out east. Bounty on an orc warlord called Krogvar. I don't know if this puts a timer on me or not. I'm nervous about getting a timer. Valerius is out on the jagged waste northeast of the shelter. Yeah, it doesn't mention a timer, hopefully. Hunter tracker survivalist. Considers himself honorable. Maybe we can exploit that. Okay. And all right, think we're good. $619. Cool. Let's go 369. We're either gonna have to stop at 6 or just book it. We've got 5 days. We've got enough to get there. I'd just like to get there with some surplus. So let's go ahead and go there. I gotta learn how to do this scout option too. Scout now, auto scouting. We've got 25. We can tell to send less. We can say the distance that we want to send them out. Currently it's set to 3, so they'll only check 3 movement points away, range-wise. Let's just keep it to 3. Odds. Cost and movement points. Alright, so we only got results on 2 and 4. I believe this is hunting and this is foraging. So 4 is by far the best location. I don't understand the... Yeah, I don't understand that. This doesn't have that. So what's going on? And we've got chevron indicators as well. Oh, those are the indicators for how much. So 67% hunting to get 500. 53% foraging to get 69. All right. I think I'm going to take tomorrow to go ahead and move to that spot and try to get the supplies. So, we're out of points. Go ahead and camp where we're at. I'm not going to spend any points today. Max. Let's go to 150 end day. Move there. Acquire supplies. Yep, 67%. Cost 2 movement. We got success and a crit success. So 570. All right. Another success. Can't get nourished up any further. Our nutrition, I mean. Okay, I think that one's arcing right there, so it's at least 2 days out. Let's go ahead and just go to there, and then we'll finish the trip tomorrow. We'll do one more scavenging run here. Oh, look at all those supplies. Only got 1 slot left. Let's not bother. Well, isn't that hilarious? Yeah. Okay.